Well, we're here. We think about large international events. It's important, obviously, to have representation. This is one of them. We think about CES, Cannes, D-Mexico as absolute must-attends for AOL. We also have a big local presence here in Germany. We've got a large ad tech office, a Beyond office, an Adapt TV office, and so we're servicing this market locally and regionally. So it's great to come and support our colleagues here. We've got about 140 people here in the German market. And look, this is a place that not only our competitive set, but all of our partners are here as well. The composition of the booths as you walk around this has shifted so that now there's massive agency holding co's here, end to end, where that just didn't happen before. And there's a huge tech presence, and so super excited to be here.
So you oversee both the brands and the platforms sort of for Europe for AOL. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing in the marketplace, how the one is feeding off the other, and what that cycle is of business for you right now.
Sure. So I think on the brand side, we remain super focused on creating and publishing premium content at scale. And so we've got assets like the Huffington Post and Engadget and TechCrunch that we really invest in so that our users cannot circumnavigate them. They're must-reads on a daily basis. And think that's super important. And we make that ubiquitous across multi-screen so that they're capturing that wherever they want, whenever they want. And so we'll remain invested in sort of technology, our general interest portal with the Huffington Post, and some lifestyle assets as well. On the other side of the business, on the platform side of the business, we're trying to simplify advertising at scale for not only our agency partners, but our publishers. And there's some super exciting trends going on in that space. Obviously, programmatic, the composition of spend that's flowing through the programmatic platforms is pretty dramatic. Of course, it ranges across the different markets within the European landscape, but for the most part, we're seeing really dramatic growth in that space, and so a lot of the investments that you're seeing across the AOL portfolio are within the programmatic platform space, allowing us to provide scale and efficiency to our partners. And in terms of how those two interact, I mean, it's a great question. We feel that there's a great opportunity for the premium content to feed the platforms. It's also relevant for our agency partners because they get to buy the premium experience at the upper end of the funnel, the brand solution, but they get to get the scale of all those publishing relationships on the supply side, which is really effective.
Can you talk a little bit more specifically about the sort of differences between the markets and, you know, what's the most bullish programmatic market where you see dollars shifting most radically versus least bullish or conservative? Would love to understand that more and how it relates to data and privacy practices in particular by market.
Yeah, so it's an excellent question. I think the UK, I would say, is the most aggressive programmatic market in Europe at the moment. So I think you're seeing up to 50% of the dollars flowing programmatically there. And in some respects, it's leading. Even across North America, the trading desks have a lot of power there. There's a really, the technology has been promoted in a really effective way versus a market like Germany, where candidly speaking, the supply side, the publishers haven't released their inventory as aggressively into the ecosystem, which then doesn't afford, you know, the buy and sell to happen seamlessly. So is that going to start to happen in Germany the same way it has in other markets? Absolutely. You're starting to see publishers test and think about programmatic on both the demand and the supply side, but it really does take big inventory players to start to participate with the platforms and test it. You know, and they usually test it on the supply side to see if they can gain better efficiencies with some of their inventory. As soon as that starts to happen, or one or two of the players step into it, it'll move very quickly. So those are probably two big comparative points, because Germany is a incredibly important market for Europe, and so it's really exciting to see what's about to happen here programmatically.
So if you look at kind of where Europe is right now, let's talk about Germany. Given that they're nascent, it's growing, they're testing the waters, a little bit more conservative. Do you think that they're going to sort of display is going to take off first, like we've seen the programmatic ecosystem evolve, or do you think they're just going to leapfrog and double down on video and mobile for programmatic?
Yeah, I think display will take off first, but I think video, and I think it's going to happen almost seamlessly. And so, you know, we just released a study through our Adapt TV division, which polled about 180 agency leads across Europe around video adoption, how they're buying it, how they're selling it, and it's pretty clear that there is a very significant migration towards video, and that's coming largely from broadcast. But you're starting to see the adoption of private marketplaces, both on the publisher side, but within the agency channels as well. In other words, 50% of the agencies are using private marketplaces today, and they think that that's going to move to about 75% in the next 12 months, which is pretty remarkable when you think about it. And on the publishing side, the same thing's happening. So, you know, I feel like because the consumers are shifting so quickly into the video space, i.e. adoption on the engagement side is moving so quickly, it feels like video is going to move seamlessly with web in markets like this that can leapfrog really quickly into the programmatic space.